It's a paper cut. Very impressive cuts. But this is not about fancy cuts. This is about controlling the card to the top of the deck, the ambitious card, and how powerful and on the fly this trick can be, to the point where you take the spectator's card, square it up, and seemingly out of nowhere you can have it jump to the top and beyond farther. That's just a little tip that we'll learn. This is probably going to be a multiple part series because the ambitious card is very in depth. Before I even get into this, I want to recommend Crash Course 2, the ambitious card routine, from illusionist.com. They go far more into heavy details on this stuff, and this is where I learned majority of my routine, and included with Jay Sankey's Paperclip Finale, which is the most powerful way to close this trick, in my opinion. I've seen multiple ways, whether it launches out of your shoe. I saw one guy open up a stopwatch and my sign card was inside of it, but I think Paperclipped is just very clean. So, getting right into it, the ambitious card is a whole routine surrounded and developed with the means of double lifts. And if you haven't seen my tutorial for double lifts, it's a 9.5 minute tutorial. You can click it right here and make sure you perfect that, or at least perfect some kind of double lift that you want to. So, getting right into it, my routine goes as follows. I'm going to take a specific card, the Nine of Diamonds, and I'm going to have Victor sign it. Very good. And I'll even give it a little signature myself along the bottom, because I'm arrogant. So, we got the signed Nine of Diamonds. There's really no other card in the deck that is the Nine of Diamonds. What ended up happening was I went to a 7-Eleven and the person who I bought a brand new pack of cards, they picked the Nine of Diamonds, so I replaced it with a new Nine of Diamonds, and this is what we'll be using. So this is essentially a dirty card. And so the way I start is one of two ways. There's the classic way, which is the Marlowe tilt, where you basically say, I'm going to put your card in about middle of the deck. And whenever you snap your fingers, that's when it's going to jump to the top. And what that is a double lift. And the way I did that was when they're signing their card and they're picking their card or showing their card to whoever, what I'm doing is essentially taking the bottom card and lifting it up just like that. So now I have this nice little gap here. And what ends up happening is several illusions combined into one move. I tap the packet, so I'm just like, I'm going to take your card and put it in, so that's an illusion already. And I break the cards in half, about middle. Okay, would you agree that's about middle? And then what I do is I angle the cards like this, sliding it right underneath, so now it's the second card, and slide it right there, square it up. And when they snap their fingers, all it is a simple, took two cards. All it is a simple double lift. And that may happen a lot. You may accidentally take 3 cards. And if that does happen, just say, oh, I accidentally took 2 cards. And then their card jumps to the top. The next one, again, we have 2 cards. The next one I normally do is one of 2 things. I'll either say, go like this with your hands. If I feel this person is trustworthy and won't flip the card over, this is the one I'll usually do because I feel it's more powerful anyway. So go like this. I'll take your Nine of Diamonds, I'm going to riffle through the deck, go ahead, push it in anywhere. And obviously, this is not the Nine of Diamonds. And then I'll put the deck in their hand, and then allow them to snap with their other hand while you're holding the camera. And then this allows them to look at it themselves Once again, 9 diamonds on top. If I don't feel they're trustworthy, here's the Marlowe tilt. Goes into about middle of the deck, even though it's second card. Jumps to the top. If I don't feel they're trustworthy, I'll say, all right, lift about half the deck up. Cover it, snap your fingers. And then right there I'll just push it off and then let them reveal it to themselves, that jump to the top. Another technique to getting the card to be second from the top, it's pretty tricky and I don't do it too often at all, but they'll be holding on to it and I'll say, all right, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, put it right there. And since we can all look at your card, I'll just take it and go ahead and snap your fingers. And just like that, get to the jump to the top. It's double lift. And what I ended up, the way this is executed, is I push off the top card and have a modified pinky break on the top card. An Erdnase break. And what I do is that they'll be holding onto the card, and I'll say, okay, tell me when to stop. About middle. They say stop there. And here's the move. With these two free fingers, I still have my Erdnase break there. I turn over the card and drop the entire packet back down onto the deck. And I flip the 9 of diamonds over while cutting half the cards. And then I quickly jog out a card. And when it's done quickly, it creates and at the right angle, it creates the illusion that this is the 9 of diamonds. So we have the card second from the top. One more time. I'll say, go ahead, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
And at the right angle, you actually flip it over with these two fingers. So we can see your 9 of diamonds, but whenever you snap your fingers, that's what's going to jump to the top. So that's another cool way to get it to the top. And then from there, you could go to simply putting it in the middle, or having a spectator put it in the middle, or doing the cut about half the cards, and then it jumps back to the top of the deck. Another one that I did in the beginning is the one-handed palm launch up. And the way I'll normally get into that, if I decide to do it, I usually don't do it a part of my routine because I don't want to string it out too long. I included a lot of material in these several performances, just so, because we have a lot of material to cover. And so I'll take the 9 of diamonds from the middle, and what I'll do is I'll do some kind of pass. And if you haven't seen a pass, watch this video. It's I believe it's a 2 or 3 part series on the pass. And so I'll take the 9 of diamonds and I'll square it up, or I'll do some kind of invisible pass, preferably, real quick. And then it's all one big misdirection to get the card to launch up to the top. So essentially what it is you do your pass. So now the card's on top. And what this hand is doing while this hand is distracting, speaking, misdirecting, this and that and the other, what this hand is doing, you have a grip like this, 3 fingers on top, thumb on the bottom. And what your pinky does is, if you're just naturally leaning against the cards, what your pinky can do is just start moving up. Start moving up, and then once you get that little tiny crevice off of it, you can push that forward, and what it's going to do is naturally pivot the card up into your palm, and you can palm it from there. So then once that's done, all it is a simple movement like that. So when it's in there, your thumb just kind of comes over, peels the cards off, and you almost want to hold on to it with just like your thumb and maybe one other finger. So in all this misdirection, you get the palm, and you come over, grab the deck, and launch it up. Make that motion with your hand because everything's a misdirection. Jumps up into your hand. So that again, in the middle of the deck, pass, some kind of misdirection, leaving one hand free. No one's going to think anything fishy if one hand is free and only one card's holding the deck. You come over, grab it, launches to the top. That's something cool you can do. Hey you guys, make sure to subscribe to How to Disturb Reality and my Evan Cloyd channel, as well as following me on Twitter and liking me on Facebook. Interact with me, I'll interact back, and as always, rise above.